Sorry, Gary. I didn't realise.
I know you're trying to solve this one. Right. Well, I'd like to echo what the other guys have said. It's great to see everybody here. A lot of faces I know, a lot of don't know. And yeah, I'm really amazed at the weather. We've had some fantastic weather, which we didn't expect, so that's been a bonus. Now, I have to say, when I first read about Daniel and Natalie's engagement in the family announcements section of the Times, I was... Right, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yes, it was Facebook. But it was still a lovely surprise. And when I heard where Daniel had proposed to Natalie on a snow-capped mountain in New Zealand, I thought, wow, how romantic. And I thought, it's a good job he didn't propose on Facebook. Well, I know a lot of parents do use this opportunity to embarrass their offspring, and I'm no exception. So, no, things are not that bad. Daniel, he was always a good lad. He was always a pleasure to bring up, and we had some great fun together. We built railway layouts, we built models out of Lego, all the sort of things that dads and sons do. And he had some great friends that used to come round, and he always played well with his friends, apart from the time when he did threaten to beat one up, but you don't want to hear about that. Oh, you do? Oh, right. Well, what happened was, I came home from work one day, and Daniel's mum said, Daniel has threatened to beat up his best friend. And I thought, well, this isn't the Daniel I know and love. There must be something wrong here. But what happened was, apparently, his best friend, who will remain anonymous, but I shall refer to him as Andrew, had threatened to beat up one of Daniel's favourite teddy bears. Now, Daniel, always knowing right from wrong, he stuck up for the little teddy bear, so I was quite proud of him that he'd actually stuck up for his teddy bear. So, good on you, mate. I'm happy to say that the friendship with his friend Andrew did survive, and they grew older together, had some great times together, and they actually became connoisseurs of fine food. Well, one fine food in particular, the pot noodle. What Daniel and Andrew didn't know about pot noodles really wasn't worth knowing. And just to give an example of how enthusiastic they were about pot noodles, one weekend we took Daniel and Andrew to Butlins at Skegness. Now, this was before the chalets had been sort of refurbished, so they were quite grotty. But that didn't really matter, because we had all the entertainment that Butlins was there to offer for us, and we took the lads out and we said, so what do you want to do then, guys? You know, we've got live entertainment, pool tables, arcade, you know, what do you want to do? So in the end they chose to go back to the grotty chalet, eat pot noodles and discuss their finer points. Well, why else do you take your children to Butlins? But Daniel's cooking skills did move on, and he surprised us one day when he'd had a day off school because he wasn't feeling very well, so he had a day off sick. His mother and I said, well, I know you're off sick, but you're not really that ill. Maybe you can just do a bit of reading, a bit of revising or whatever, you know. And we got home in the evening and he'd cooked the most perfect fruitcake I'd ever seen in my life. It was absolutely brilliant. And I thought, well, if that's what you do when you're off sick, you can have a few more days off sick. And I have to say, years later, his cooking skills went on to become really good, and I have to say that quite a few occasions I would come home from work and he'd say, shall I cook, Dad? And I'd say, oh, all right then. And he would, and he'd do a lovely meal for me when I got home from work. Now, after leaving school, Daniel had some good results and he went on to study at Roehampton University, where he studied creative writing and the pubs and nightclubs of London. But it all paid off because he gained a degree in London nightlife. Or was it creative writing? Well, I'm sure they're both interesting anyhow. I'm sure they've both been very useful to you. After teaching some time in Corby and in Northampton, he surprised me yet again by moving to Bangkok. Now, as it's been said, why would somebody give up everything and move halfway around the world? Well, the answer's sitting next to Daniel, Tom. Sorry, I do of course mean the lovely Natalie. And she is lovely. I remember the very first time I met her in Northampton, and she came up to me and gave me a hug and a kiss, and I felt like I'd known her for years. And so I thought, yeah, Daniel, you made a good choice here. She's a lovely lady. Now, when Daniel moved to Bangkok, it was quite a big change for me, and people say, do you miss him? And I said, nah, not really. I'm only kidding, of course I miss him. And the only thing is, I think if he had remained in Britain, he probably would have been dragging me around the pub, or I'd be dragging him around the pub, and Natalie wouldn't have been very happy about that. When I visit Daniel and Natalie in Bangkok, they always make me very welcome, and I always have some great times there, and I always come back with some lovely memories, as well as a lot of mosquito bites. But apart from that, it's worth it just to see my favourite son, my only son, and now my daughter-in-law. That's the first time I've said that. I have to say I'm very impressed with the wedding plans, as it's been said before. To actually organise and plan something like this from Bangkok in Thailand must have taken a lot of effort on everyone's part. And even the fact they've had printed out an itinerary with everything on at certain times, I think was amazing. I think it's an itinerary that would put weekend TV to shame. Although I was a bit worried about the bit where I got to where it says bedding ceremony. What do we do there? Do we sort of shut our eyes or turn the other way and talk amongst ourselves for a few minutes? Or, well, possibly. But before I get everybody too embarrassed, moving swiftly on, just like to say that congratulations to you both. You're a great couple, and you're going to go a long way together. You never know, you might even come back and visit here now and again and see your old dad. But whatever, I just wish you, the both of you, the best of luck, and I think you've done a fantastic job here, and it's been lovely. And can we all again raise our glasses to the lovely Natalie and Daniel. Thank you. Thank you.